All right, Jose, what are you seeing from Soto in his at-bats here?
I need my guy right out of the dugout to be swinging the bat because, he take a lot of fair pitch strikes right in the middle. With the eyes that he got on home plate, he always going to swing the strike. If you come out of the dugout, like, swing the bat right away because he's not going to swing, like, pitch outside of the strike zone. I just want to see him more aggressive, and I see him, like, pulling too much, He's the guy who got power all over the place, so I just want to see him hit the ball the other way sometime and go from there. But people, don't get crazy. It's been 2 months. I know it's not the Juan Soto, like, whatever people want to see, but what about if he finished strong the last 4 months of the season? So, and he put the number that he always put. So it's a good season, right? So he's going to be fine, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Jose with the at-bats. We heard Stearns say that he's having good at-bats, and I disagree with that. He's taking very hittable pitches. I know he has great command of the strike zone, and that's been his calling card, but when he's taking fastballs basically down the middle of the plate, and then even pitches that are on the outside edge of the strike zone, which, again, when Juan Soto's at his best, he takes those to opposite field. Those are line drive doubles in the left center gap. He's rolling over those guys. So I don't understand where that comes from, Jose. Is he just getting jumpy and he's just too anxious to get something done? Because when he turns those pitches that he would normally rope to the opposite field into 65-mile-an-hour ground balls to the first baseman, he did it 3 times the other day, which was stunning. And that's what I don't get. I mean, as David Stern says, he doesn't know what the fix is or if it's any one thing. It doesn't really seem mechanical. It just is about decision-making, maybe, and maybe there's some uncertainty there, which, again, it is shocking to me based on a guy with his accomplishments in his resume.
It's true, but I never see him roll over to so many pitches, and he been doing that lately, But as a ball player, as a leader, sometimes that stuff gonna happen. For me, when I was playing, when you're struggling, you're struggling. You're going to roll over every team, But when you get high, you're going to hit the ball all over the place. Right now, hopefully, can start tonight with him, like, get a single to left field and try to go from there.
I mean, Jose turned those 65-mile-an-hour ground balls into infield singles.
It's true.
But, fellas, body language for Soto, to me, is a major, major problem. This is a guy with swagger through the roof, nodding his head, doing his little shuffle, doing all of the stuff that made Juan Soto this sensation from the minute you saw him with the Washington Nationals. It seems like his body language, his demeanor, his confidence, it's off. And look, that contract is a big deal. Let's not ignore the fact that Francisco Lindor in his first year with the Mets got off to a rotten start. You remember Carlos Beltran, his first year. This is a Hall of Fame player, the way I see it. He did not get off to a good start. Soto is going to hit, but we're at a point now where I'm expecting a lot more. Hey, you gave him $780 million. It's 2 months into the year. His at-bat quality, Sal, against the White Sox, the lowly White Sox, that didn't look like Juan Soto. You watched him all year with the Yankees. I watched him all year with the Yankees. It's not to say he didn't go through a slump. He did. He never looked like that from a confidence standpoint, and that's why I'm waiting now. Bad team. Juicy matchups over the weekend. Let's get some hits. Let's go.
How much of it, Jose, do you think is the $765 million contract that he signed? You could put yourself in his shoes, signing with the Marlins, a big contract. How much of that is trying to get acclimated to a new team, live up to the contract? What do you think's going on there?
On that point, when I signed Miami, I think that was the highest contract for the Miami player. And then they signed Giancarlo Stanton with a huge contract and stuff. And sometimes when you go to a new team like that, you try to do too much. Even you don't think, but you try to do too much to show people that you earn that contract. That happened to me in Miami. I'm not a home run guy, right? And my first home run come out after 56 games.
Wow.
So in the first half, I hit maybe the first month and a half, I hit maybe less than 250. But what about the second half, when I feel more comfortable as a player? Second half, I think he 305, something like that, because I was feeling comfortable. So I expect that to Soto the next 4 months of the season.
Was there something that clicked for you? Was it somebody going to you? How did it...
I believe in my talent, I continue, go to the ballpark every day, do what I do, work hard and try to get it slow, go with my hitting coach to the video room, see what I'm doing wrong, because when I went to Miami the year before, I win the battle title. Something that you don't like because you say,
you bunted an ass down.
No. We already caused that. So, go to the hitting coach, to the video room and see, what I was doing last year that I got this big year and now month and a half through the season, I'll be struggling, you know, and you go from there. I think Soto, he is smart enough to understand that.
Jose, as a high-energy guy that really kind of brought a lot of that to the ballpark, to every at-bat, to what you did, does the body language that Soto's been showing concern you at all? Just because he kind of seems kind of flat?
I mean, Soto, he don't show a lot of emotion when he play, you know. I know last year he got some handshake with Josh and stuff. You know, something that I love to do, that I love to see, Soto and Lindor had a handshake. I want to see that.
So how does that happen? Is it one or the other going up to each other? Can you make it happen or what?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
give me that. Come on.
we need that from those guys.
But when you're going bad, it's tough to get that.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know,
Hitting
me
solves
and
all of that,
me and
doesn't it?
David Wright, we had a handshake, and
Yeah,
we do it
right.
all the time, even when we're struggling.
That's
we
great,
still
though,
doing
Jose.
it, you know?
But we love the handshakes when you guys are hitting. When you guys are hitting, I don't care about the handshakes.
Well, I know, but you know, you do the handshake when you hit a homer, when you do stuff like that. But if you're not winning, you know, it's a little bit quiet. But you're still doing it because you try to have fun and before everything else.
And it makes you feel good. That's what I want. I want Juan Soto to be himself and feel comfortable. Even if you're struggling, that's fine. But I'm just not getting the sense, like to your point, we're talking about, we could see he's trying to get acclimated to a new team, new teammates, living up to that contract. Maybe something as simple as a handshake with Lindor, who's the captain or supposed to be the captain of this team, the leader. Maybe that could go a long way.